Hi, heavenly friends. Today's speaker E.T. on LifeTree TV. Good to see you here, and I'll share with you about the fate of light workers with darkness matrix. For the first time in the history of NAVER, the spiritual unification with each one's final higher self is happening and will happen to the light workers all over the globe by the plan and program of the heaven. This is irrespective of each one's own effort and hope, even though he does not know whether he is a light worker. It is being realized by the plan of the heaven. At the outset, it appears to stem from each one's free will. As nobody notices it at all the necessary things are being prepared by the programs of the heaven. Before the upcoming natural disasters and catastrophes, the consciousness must be awakened around the people with the light matrix. Only after the dimensional shift of the consciousness should be done, the heavenly work can proceed smoothly. The disasters that have never happened in the history of the earth will come. The catastrophes that mankind has never experienced before are coming. In those tribulations, ordinary people with human emotions can't deal with those events. That's why the spiritual unification with each one's final higher self is necessary. And thus, they could overcome the tough and challenging obstacles. It is the journey of overcoming the limitations of Homo sapiens and going beyond the limits of human. It is not a way to go alone with the MCIS, which is Meta Consciousness Implementation System. It is the way of each one's final higher self's joint mission with each one's avatar. Each one should overcome extreme fear and confusion. Facing so many people who have lost everything, they should pray the Lord as a guide and lighthouse for the devastated human race. For this reason, each spirit soul's being oneness with its own final higher self is being prepared now. People who have the light matrix will achieve their final unifications with the final higher selves according to their timelines. But people with the matrix of intermediate or darkness will be late, and thus they will have difficulties for gaining access to the PEFA, which is Protective Energy Field Area. People with the matrix of intermediate or will have to share the sufferings of humanity. It is a part of their programs. After all the atrocities, they will have to go through the vagaries of matter and suffer from the vagaries of religion. They should go through the void of power and desire in the pain of life or death. It is programmed that they could achieve the waking up of consciousness and in the end the being oneness with the final higher selves. In this process, their matrix structures will be erased by the heaven. The light workers with the matrix of the intermediate or darkness have lived on earth for 2.5 million years with the following tasks. They contribute in strengthening the kingship. They contributed in building the matrix of God. They contribute in strengthening the Earth's material matrix. The person who has tied a knot must untie it. This is the law of the universe. This is the way of balancing out of karmas in the universe. The people who have strengthened the dark matrix of material civilization should be in the center of the collapse of all material civilizations in the catastrophes. They have developed material civilizations, strengthened the material matrix, and widened the gap between human and God. They have enriched the dark night of the galaxy. Surrounded by the mankind trapped in the religion matrix, and together with the people who are unable to hear the heavenly voice, they'll have to experience the terrible realities of the collapse of the material civilizations without knowing anything. People will not know where to go and where to come back. After experiencing the bare face of the heaven and completing their roles and missions according to their programs, they will be able to enter the PEFA. The light workers with the dark matrix have similar thinking and who know nothing. Yes, the material matrix is rigid and stubborn for them. To carry out the spiritual war of the light and the darkness with them, and sometimes to play the role of darkness by the suffering mankind. For the awakening of humanity, the skilled and sophisticated villain actors prepared in the heaven are the fate of the light workers who brought the dark matrix. In the fierce spiritual war of light and darkness, the workers in the darkness will play the following roles. They do all kinds of bad things on behalf of ignorant humanity. They represent the human consciousness who doesn't know anything. Until the integration of light and darkness is achieved, they will do their best to play the dark roles. They believe that they are light without recognizing the dark role given to them. They behave in the way of their own beliefs, strongly believing that they are in the justice. That is the fate of the light workers with the matrix of darkness. The closer they are to the head of the dark government, the more they know that their roles are in the darkness. In the midst of fierce competitions for survival along with the collapse of material civilizations, the workers in the darkness shall get to realize that they are wrong. From that on, the darkness workers will get closer to the point where the dark matrix is transformed into the light. And according to the degree of transformation, being oneness with the higher selves will be achieved sequentially. Once the roles and dark missions given to them are terminated, the unification with their final higher selves will be achieved, and the entrance into the PEFA will be possible. Until then, the darkness workers cannot die, even if they wanted to, and they will have to go through all the sufferings together with the human races. In this process, they will play the role of waking up the human consciousness. Although they are prohibited from gaining access to the PEFA, they will be in charge of guiding the awakened human to the PEFA. By the principle of the regression to the origin, the darkness workers will play the role of villainous actors in the midst of chaos and confusions, At the same time, they help the spiritual awakening of mankind by sacrificing themselves. In the 144,000 puzzles, there are pieces of the puzzle that the light workers with the dark matrix have to handle. From the standpoint of the heaven, there is no distinction between light and darkness. Therefore, everyone is integrated with each other as one consciousness. Thank you for the hard work of the light workers with the Lord of Darkness. Udeka Wright, translated by E.T. Thank you. See you next time.